Greetings, this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Today I want to talk to you about this opportunity that's in your hands, that's in your face. And I want to make sure that you are aware enough that you're going to take advantage of this opportunity and use this opportunity to its fullest extent. What am I talking about? Let's talk about the stars. So, it's pretty exciting that we know that this Pluto has entered into Aquarius. And what this means is that there is going to be a stirring up of new ideas, new technologies, new ways to benefit mankind. And these new ideas are coming directly out of the subconscious mind. And those of us who study magic and practice magic understand that the subconscious mind is the gateway to supernatural, metaphysical ideas, supernatural metaphysical abilities, and supernatural and metaphysical information. So right now, we've literally entered into a period, the collective, humanity, has entered into a period of time where each one of us are potential vessels to channel through amazingly potent, world-changing, society-changing data, right? Now here's what makes this even better. At the time of me recording this video, we look into the sky and we realize that there are absolutely 0 planets in retrograde. The sky is completely clear of any type of blockages or any type of planetary celestial forces that may hinder anything that you choose to set forward right now. Now let's talk about trance. Yeah, trance, Trance, and how easy it is to go into trance. The same way that I said that the subconscious mind is the gateway to these inner powers and inner abilities, the way that we access the subconscious mind is through trance. And here's what's really important to understand about trance, and that's this. You are always, at any given time, in a state of trance. At any given time, right? The difference is to what degree and what type of trance that you're in. The conscious mind in itself is a trance state. And the various ways of accessing the subconscious are different trance states. And this is how simple it is. When you're driving to work on the same path that you take every single day, your mind goes into trance as you daydream, as you stare blankly with no thought, right? Whenever you walk into the kitchen in the middle of the day or late at night, and you open up that fridge and you stare blankly, knowing damn well what's in there before you've opened it, you're in a trance. When you're scrolling through your phone and hours pass, you're in a trance. When you're watching TV, you're in a trance, right? When you're making love, when you're playing a video game, every single thing that we do is a specific trance state. Now, some of these trances are deeper. And what I mean by deeper is that the level of conscious awareness begins to diminish. Even sleep is a trance state. So listen to what I'm saying. We're always in different trance states. Now, the reason that this is important is because depending on which trance state you're in, depends on what types of influences affect you and how they affect you. You've heard of hypnosis, you've seen hypnosis, you've seen therapy. In fact, when you have some issue that you have to go to the hospital for, when you sit in that waiting room, right, not knowing what's going on, and that doctor enters with his white lab coat, you immediately go into a trance, and you're very suggestive and susceptible to whatever he may say. So if this guy isn't careful with his words, he could actually make it worse based on what he says to you while you're in that trance state, right? When you watch your favorite YouTuber, you go into a trance to receive what they have to say. Or even if you're a hater and you're watching or listening to somebody you don't like, you're in a different kind of trance, ready to pick out something that you can disagree with and argue about. Do you understand how important it is to understand this concept of trance states? Now, it goes even deeper. It goes even deeper because, like I said, depending on what state you're in, you may be more or less easily influenced. Like I said, when you go to the doctor and he walks in with that white lab coat and you desperately want answers, you want to know what's going on, you're extremely easily suggestible. He can tell you anything and you'll accept it, even if it defies common sense. Likewise, if you're watching the presidential debate and you really dislike the candidate, it doesn't matter what he says. Even if it makes perfect and total sense, you're going to reject it. So we allow things to affect us based on whether or not we're in a certain deep kind of trance. And this also goes for planetary influences, cosmic, lunar, magical, spiritual influences. When you are on autopilot, when you're very unaware of your behavior, when you're very unaware of what you're doing with your body, with your thoughts, with your emotions, when you're very unaware, astrological, cosmic, magical, and spiritual influences affect you easily without resistance because you're not paying attention to yourself. So this is why the general public is easy to analyze on the grounds of astrology. The people who don't believe in astrology really haven't seen astrology at work. And when I say astrology, I don't just mean, the newspaper horoscope or what somebody posted on Instagram or TikTok. It depends on the person who's utilizing this method of science, right? You can't denounce a science and say that it's trash because the person that you've seen display it was insufficient at the science. Astrology, whether it's Vedic or Western, can be extremely detailed, and a lot of it depends on the birth time, because the birth time is going to depend on what your ascendant is and what signs are what houses for you and what planets are in those houses and what the difference is from when you were born to today. So having even that amount of detail can generate a very specific reading. But because most people are under a group mind trance, just going along with the motions, as I mentioned in a video recently, today most of the Western society has downgraded to the point where we wake up, we check our phones immediately, we go to work or we go to school, we come home, we either get high, we get drunk, we have our sex, we eat our food that's terrible for us, we scroll some more social media and go back to sleep. And literally the only conversations that we can have throughout the day is what we've absorbed from that phone and nothing else. We're limited to the parameters of the influences of the phone, and we don't know who or what's behind the images and messages that we're receiving. So right there, we're this big bundle of manipulation and mind control without resistance. So we're all part of this group hive mind with shared focus and shared thoughts. On top of that, we've got these cosmic influences that are unceasingly pushing us and moving us into this direction and that direction, because again, we're unaware of ourselves and we're unaware of our thoughts and we're unaware of what we're putting into our consciousness. But all these things make a certain kind of recipe, and typically this recipe is designed so that we can benefit those who are able to utilize the tools of mass hypnosis. In other words, you're put in place to be a consumer, to spend money, and to exhibit animal behavior as opposed to enlightened behavior. Because enlightened behavior will cause you to want to escape from these boundaries of your social media and your job and your school and your drugs and your alcohol and your sex and your terrible food. Evolving your mind, evolving your consciousness, and expanding your awareness will cause you to seek to escape the boundaries of this hive mind. But if you're constantly encouraged all day, every day, to remain in your animal state, then you'll behave like that animal. You'll consistently spend the money on all those things, and you'll remain distracted and powerless to make any change in your personal life, powerless to make any change in the society that you live in, utterly powerless. And notice that you stay in your animal state, and they call this thing the zodiac. The first two letters, Z-O, comes from the word that we use for zoo, animal, because primarily these influences and these forces are directed towards the animal body, the human animal body, which we all utilize as our vehicle. So the general astrology applies to people generally, because most people are only operating out of their animal nature. Of course, when you begin to expand, astrology takes on a slightly different angle based on your level of awareness. But all that to say this, right now is a very special time. At the time of me recording this video, we're in a very special time. And this special time is one that is extremely fertile for you to set forth and create the things that you feel called and compelled to create. And I don't mean called and compelled based off of what you saw on your social media. I mean called and compelled based on what's in your spirit. Maybe there's a gift that you have that you wish that you could share, but never really took the time to develop. Maybe there's a business that you want to start. Maybe there's something about yourself that you want to adjust, right? And maybe you felt hindered all this time because you're so concerned about what these other people, these other animals who are in trance, right? Locked in their own private matrix. You're concerned about what they think about you. You're concerned about upsetting them. You're concerned about the fact that they may reject you. Not realizing that these people are in a deep level of trance, not even in control of themselves, barely with any free will. And I mean barely being generous. So wrapped up and concerned with what these people are thinking, what these people are projecting onto you, the roles that they want you to fit into. So concerned about that it's stopping you from doing and being what you're supposed to do and be, or I should say what you want to do and be. Well, this window is the perfect opportunity right now to begin your process of breaking out of your personal matrix. It takes a little bit of strength and a little bit of courage, because this animal body is a habit-based body, a pattern-based body, and it gets very comfortable doing the things that it's always done. It's extremely comfortable only doing what it's always done, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to break your pattern. But I urge you, out of love, to muster up whatever strength you can to attempt to try your best to break out of the pattern, the routine of the everyday same. Let the rest of them have that. That's what they were born to do, to repeat the cycles of their own karma. But you are somebody who has become aware of themselves and who seeks to know as much about yourself, your soul, and this universe as possible. And if that's you, right? Because if you've listened this far, obviously that's you. If it wasn't you, you would have left the video by now. So obviously this is you, and if that's you, I urge you to do everything in your power to utilize this time, to utilize this energy that's flowing in, to take the cosmos with your bare hands, grab it by the horns, and steer it in the direction that you want it to go. It's yours. It's yours. And if you refuse to grab it, if you refuse to pick it up, if you refuse to put it to use, then you'll find that pretty quickly it's going to turn around and put you to use. And usually when that happens, it's not in your best interest. It's usually at the behest of someone else who's taken advantage of the opportunity. So, that's my message today. This is a beautiful time, a wonderful time. This is an extremely rare time. Certainly won't happen again this year. I'm not sure when it will happen again. But this is the time to start something, to build something, to create something, to learn something, to start something new. If you want to be lazy, you can be lazy for the rest of the 9 months of this year. But right now, right now. Do what you can with what you've got, because I'm telling you, once this time passes and you look back and change your mind, this cosmic soup will not be the same flavor. So I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe that you are a part of this energetic stream. You're hearing this message even as I'm hearing this message, and I'm just relaying it and conveying it based on my consistent daily study of the stars, of the energies, of the soul. We all have our part to play in this big cosmic soup. We're all different ingredients. Some characterize the flavor, and some are merely accessories on the side. Do what thou wilt. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you. Peace.